Hey everyone, my name is Conon Gillis, and if you don't already know, I'm running for Missouri State Senate in District 32. This includes Dade, Jasper, and Newton counties. People have asked me a whole lot of questions, but the most common one has been some version of this. Why did you want to be a politician? What made you decide to run? Or my personal favorite, which came from one of the other teachers at my school, he said, what would make you want to do that to yourself? Thought that was funny. I wanted to go ahead and make a video to explain to everybody why exactly I did decide to run. So if you don't already know, I am a social studies teacher. I teach government and history at Neosho High School. And like I would assume any good social studies teacher, I've always really tried to instill in my kids the idea that you have to go vote. Like it's so important for you to go vote. And so whenever we'd cover them in history, we'd cover the suffrage movements, and I'd say things like, these people really, they suffered for you to have the ability to vote today. And so you should honor them by going and, exercising that right that they fought so hard for. Or over in government, I would say like citizen participation is so important, and go out and fulfill democracy and vote for governor and president and senator and everything you possibly can. I was lucky enough to be teaching government during the 2016 election cycle, and it was really great because my kids were constantly curious and asking me questions, and they were like, hey, did you see the debate yesterday, and did you see what this candidate said, and what do you think about this, and what do you think about that, and all these other really, really great things. Kept my own political views out of it so that all my kids can just make decisions for themselves. But on election day, my kids were, really, really jazzed up, especially because the Neosho High School actually is a polling location, so they were really, really excited. And I thought it'd be a good idea to contact the Newton County Clerk's office and get a sample ballot. And so I printed off a whole bunch of these sample ballots, I showed them to the kids, and I was like, hey, this is what they are voting on down at the other end of the school. So all my kids are like really excited, and they're taking a look at it, and they're looking at president and House representatives and senator and all these other things. And then they start to get down a little bit lower, and they see all of these other spots like, Missouri House of Representatives, and they're like, they turn to me and they're like, why is there only one person listed here? So I say, well, they're running unopposed. And then they like look up at me and they just say, then what's the point in voting? And it's like a big part of democracy just died in their lives that day. Because for most of them, this is the first real encounter that they've had with an election. Even though they couldn't actually vote, a lot of them were really jazzed up and excited, and then they see all of these people where there's only one person running, and they know there's not a point. So that is something that stuck with me for a long time. Then later, I was kind of doing some research, and I was on the Missouri Secretary of State's website. And you can kind of go back and see point counts and all that other stuff for past elections. And so I was going through, and I was looking at them, and I was looking at the Missouri State Senate District 32 spot, and the database went all the way back to the early 90s. And as I looked at them all, I saw that Republicans always had a candidate, but they only ever had opponents twice, all the way from the early 90s up through now. And I started looking at some more of our elections in this area, and there were a bunch of them where they literally never had opponents, the entire database. And I just started to get really, angry, because I just thought back to my kids about, like, they were asking, why vote? Why vote if there's nobody running against them? If there's only one choice, we already know who's going to win. And so I just got, it just really made me angry, because I'm a little bit of a democracy purist, and I thought, if there is only one person running, then there is no point in voting. And I've been, teaching these kids all like over the years that it's so important for you to go vote and exercise that democracy and all that other great stuff. And so I was like, I can either sit around and hope for somebody to step up and challenge them, or I could try it myself, and I could, practice what I've been preaching. So I guess deep down, like, I want to run because I want to preserve that better form of democracy, actually give people choices and make it to where there is a point in voting. So that's basically it. Hope that answers some people's questions. I'm going to be answering some more questions on a live Q&A on Facebook, which is Thursday, December 21st at 7:30 p.m. Tune in, ask me all the questions. I'll try and get through as many of them as I can. then you can watch that video later. If you can't tune in that night, then definitely email me, which is votegillis@gmail.com, or you can contact my Facebook page, which is Vote Gillis on Facebook. Also have Twitter, which is @Conon Gillis. You could also, if you want to send me a friend request on Facebook, it's just Conon Gillis. Do my best to answer every single question. And then do me a favor, also please share this video out to all of your friends on Facebook or Twitter or whatever the other social media sites are that you're using. I just want everybody in the area to know that there is another choice in this election. It's not somebody running uncontested. There is something you can actually go out, voice your opinion on. And then also I want everybody to ask me as many questions as they possibly can. That way I can get all of the information out there. Everybody knows exactly what they're voting for. So thank you very much. Hope everybody tunes in on December 21st, 7:30 for my live Q&A. Bye.